Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's Rodfather 916. You ever see people on TV or people working in the community who are always helping people? They're the people helping people clean out their leaves or mowing lawns. Just good, kind people of the earth who wants to help their fellow man. And that's how it's supposed to be. You know, People who are doing and helping friends and complete strangers just for the goodness, just out of the goodness of their heart. They're just kind people. And I believe in that. But I wonder if these same people who are always volunteering, always with their hands up to help someone, I wonder how many of those people, when they're in need, ask for help. There's sort of a strange concept locked in our minds. If you need help, it sort of means there's a flaw in the system, that you're weak. You couldn't figure it out on your own. So a lot of people won't ask for help. Tonight, or today, or whenever you see this video, there is someone in a situation not of their making. Life just happens to everybody. Maybe they're living under a freeway, or in a cardboard box, or in a corner for warmth. And yet there are people and services that would help them, but for whatever reason, they choose not to ask for help. I know this subtopic very well. Fifteen, 16 years ago, I was evicted out of my apartment on my 50th birthday. I had paid my rent, but I was lazy. And I guess the landlords wanted me out of there. So they took my cashier's check and held it. And I went away to New York City with friends, knowing that my rent was paid and everything was cool. Well, in that short time, there was a hearing. And when I came back, there was notice on my door that I had 24 hours to get out, and it was from the county of Sacramento. So my friends, seeing this, they helped me. It was my son and I living together. I was just getting out of divorce, had a menial paying job, and whatever we couldn't put in storage, I put in the trunk of my little Pontiac. And I went to live with very kind friends who offered me a warm place to stay. And I was employed. But for whatever reason, I wouldn't ask for help. I know people of means. I know people who would help me. But at that time in my life, I was just feeling pretty sad. And to make things worse, my son went to live with his mother on the sofa, which saddened me deeply, to the point that I even complicated suicide. Not, I was driving one day on the freeway and I said, if that truck killed me, my kids would be better off. Or my son would be better off. Because he has such a loser for a family. Or for a father. And months went by, years so went by. I got on my feet. I moved in, rented a room, and then I got my own apartment. And a couple of friends learning about my eviction and financial problems came to me, particularly one good friend who said, you know what, Rodfather, I've known you at the time probably 12 years, and anybody who called you needed help, you were there. You were there for me. You know, he had broken his leg, and so I made sure he had food and checked on him on a regular basis. And he says, I have well over $200,000 in my checking account right now. Money that I should be moved over to other accounts, but, you know, I have $200,000. Whatever you needed, I'd have gladly given it to you. Not lend it to you, I'd have given it to you. Because I love you as a friend. And he said, you're a good friend to all these people. But what kind of friend are you to you? There is no reason you had to be homeless. He said, I have buildings all over the place. You could have stayed in one of those, you and your son. If you wanted to stay where you are, I could have done that. And I'm angry at you because what you've done to yourself and your son is unforgivable. I had a straight face. And I got in my car and I started driving, and then all of a sudden I couldn't see. And it never occurred to me that I could have to ask for help. It never occurred to me that I wouldn't be viewed as a failure. I'd already convinced myself I'd been a failure for quite a while. I've learned to ask for help. It's a process. It's delayed, but it's a process. And in talking to people on the street and other people who are filled with pride, silly pride, I ask you a question. What kind of friend are you to you? Someone somewhere loves you, who would do anything to help you. Now, of course, there are exceptions. People who've used people who abuse people. Word gets out and doors are shut. You know, I always say to people, you know, when they're online and somebody asks you money and there's no one else, no one in the world that will help them. And I always say, you know, there is a reason people aren't helping you. You mean no one, no family member, there's no one to help you? Speaks volume about you as a person. Because I do have people who love me, and I have people I love, and I've given my last $100 or $200 to, because that's what they mean to me. But for those of you who have friends, you haven't burned bridges, you haven't, you know, opened an account, you've never, you know, you do pay your bills on time, you pay your friends back. If you are in need and you don't ask for help, what kind of friend are you to you? What I've learned, I was a bad friend to me. Like in any lesson, that was then. This is the Rodfather, wishing you love, joy, and happiness. I appreciate you taking the time to look at this video, and I appreciate your comments. I just went dark. That means it's time for me to go. Please take care. Love, joy, and happiness. Be well now.